just to start with, we're just going to work through the joints of our body quite quickly. We're going to do the Shogun level, which is the basic level, isolation. So we'll start with our head, and all I want you to do is just make some neck rotations here. Everybody's done movements like this at some point in their life. The goal while you're doing this is to move up to the resistance, but not through it. So when your neck gets around to here, maybe you feel it starting to get tight or a little hitch, don't try to force through it, roll around it, and change direction. These are really simple movements. And I'm going to take you through the isolation phase, the Shogun level, and then the Chuden level. Okay, now let's look at our wrist. Keep your elbows at your side and rotate your wrist like this. Try to keep your palms facing the ground and then forward when you're doing this, so you're keeping them in one plane of motion. Change direction. Now work your way to your elbows. And again, try to keep your elbows in place and make as big a circle as you can. Change direction. Good. And take it right up to the shoulders. So again, as big a circle as you can. And really try to feel where you're having sticking points. Don't push through it, but just become aware of it. And change direction. Now, just kind of shrug the shoulders like this a bit. And forward. Now go ahead, keep your hips in place, and just rotate your shoulders like this. Don't move your head, don't move your hips. Try to let your shoulders rotate around the axis of your spine. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Now let's move down. We're going to work our legs and knees. Go ahead and pick one leg up in the air and just sway your foot from side to side. If you're uncomfortable with your knee high, this is fine here as well. Go to whatever range of motion you have. So with the knee up in front of you, side to side. Now open it out and still sway side to side. You're going to feel a little bit of a kink up in here in your hip. You're trying to work the hip socket right now. Now bring your knees together and sway the foot side to side again. These are the basic exercises for working the hip and knee joint. Change legs, front, side, out to the side, side to side, and knees together, side to side. This is also good for your mouths and your feet, learning to maintain control. Do that quite well. Okay, now we're going to go back through the body kind of quickly, and we're going to look at the Chuden level, the coordination phase. This will be much more difficult to do. So now, we made circles before at the top of our head. Now we're going to make circles with our jawline. So, in order to make sure you know where you're at, put your hands together in front like this. And push your jaw forward and back. Good. Everyone can do that. Now, push your jaw sideways. Try not to let your head turn, try not to let your head tilt. Try to push your neck sideways like this. Good. Now make a circle. And change direction. Okay, we're still working the neck joint, but from the opposite perspective. Now we're going to move down into the wrist and fingers. Keep your fingertips in line with your elbow. And make circles with your wrist. Don't let your fingertips move in space. You're going to have trouble with this? Hold your fingertips in place like this. And rotate your wrist. This is going to coat your joints with synovial fluid, make them more flexible, and make the muscles relax and move more freely. Okay? Everyone's doing this, right? Moving the fingertips. Don't move your fingertips. Imagine they're locked in place. And you only move to the wrist. It's called the coordination level for a reason. You can see why, right? Good. Let's move up to the elbows. Put your hands in front right here. And begin to circle your elbows only. Don't let your hands move in space. Just circling the elbows. And change direction. Good. Now we're going to go up to the shoulders. Keep your hands out to the side. Before we did this, right? Now keep your hands in place and rotate your shoulders in a circle. Last year, the theme was rope. Not so many things to talk about. You need to have a rope-like body. And you emphasize the movement of the shoulders around the ribcage. Right off the top. arch your back, and then cave your chest in. So your rib cage is moving around the axis of your shoulders. Excellent. Now we're going to move down to the hips, do the same thing. Roll your pelvis up, roll, arch your back. Roll your pelvis up and back. So try to get the motion localized to your hips here. It's sometimes difficult to do this small movement, but the hip action and transfer and power through your hips is very, very important. Now we're going to go side to side. So with your feet kind of close together, push out through your hip. You should feel a stretch right here. Then push the other side. Kind of like you're skiing. You should be feeling skiing. And now we're going to coordinate that by making a circle out of it. It's a small circle. Change direction. A little bit like belly dancing. Oh, Matt, man, that's very good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and make these motions quite a bit bigger. Leave your head in place, but let your hips start to circle out bigger and bigger and bigger like this. And you'll feel your hip socket working. You'll feel the muscles on the inside of your legs, the outside of your legs, your knees. Tilt your body weight all over so that you're up on the edges of your feet. You want to start getting your feet to move back and forth like this, not just staying flat, but all the way around. So this is stretching and making mobile your entire body. Now change direction. Good. Now we're just going to do a little bit, working down on the knees and ankles here. And what I want you to do, if it's comfortable, now you can do it like this. Turn your foot out. Take your right foot, turn it on the blade. Be careful. Be aware of your body. Shift your body weight onto this foot. Don't do too much when you pop your ankle, okay? But you want to start getting your foot used to supporting weight in this compromised position. It will strengthen the tendons and ligaments around your ankle. Now, roll your foot all the way over so you're on the top of your toes. And start to shift the weight to that. Shift weight to that position. Good. Now let it come down on the inside blade of your foot. And again, shift weight to it. So you recognize the three positions. We're going to make this a circle. Side, around, side, side. Make sure you put a little bit of weight on each side. Okay? And change direction. Everybody's maybe watching the Japanese sometimes. They take their toes and they wriggle their toes and they wriggle their feet. That's quite good. But it's akin to, if I want to work my hand doing this, it's much better if I can use my own fingers and muscles, my own body to move the joint around. Same thing with the feet and toes. So again, now on the left foot, with the blade, roll up the toes, inside blade, outside, toes, inside, outside, toes, inside. Okay? Let's do a few revolutions like this, and change direction. Excellent. And last but not least, the number one movement, the Bujinkan. It's very complex. You ready? There it was. Did you catch that? Because it's something that almost all foreigners seem to forget. Bend your knees. Squat. Squat as far as you can go while leaving your heels on the ground and maintaining Kamai. Now from here, push your hips forward so that you're getting a stretch. And what we're going to do from here, if your knees are okay, is lower ourselves into a squat on the balls of our feet. When you're on the balls of your feet, you should have good erect Kamai. You should have erect posture here. At this point, you walk back and place the heels of your feet on the ground, push your butt up in the air, now you have a stretch across your posterior chain. Come back to the balls of your feet, and as you stand up, push your hips forward. We're working on flexibility here in the hips and knees. So watch me do a couple of rotations, and then you guys just copy this, right? Okay, give that a try. Make sure our heels are at least shoulder width, maybe a little bit lighter. And we're going to do the same thing. Squat. Push your hips forward. And now you're going to feel a stretch through the groin muscles here. Stretch across the back. Squat, keeping your knees out over your toes. Keep your knees out over your toes. Come back up. Squat. And again, push those hips forward. Yeah. Let's do a few repetitions like this. All right. And that's it. Now, we want to start thinking about Shukhahala, this halfway. So, many people have seen kind of like the ninja walk, this cross-stepping, right? We've all seen this. We're going to do it from here. We're just going to spiral into this cross step. And where you want to have is the knee of your back foot midway between the knee and heel of your other foot. So if I'm here, it's like this. You should be able to get it equal between your knees. What you're going to do is first one thing. You're going to turn and rotate so your knees are stuck together here. That's no good. Or you're going to turn so your ankles are stuck together. That's no good. You want to be able to slip a fist between your two knees. So start in Shizen, you rotate, and let your weight and your weight sink down. From here, shift your weight to your back foot. See this motion of the hips? Shift your weight to your back foot, and let the front shin come down to the ground. So now I'm actually resting, kind of like a Fudo traditional style Japanese sitting. My front shin is completely on the ground. Yeah. From here, go ahead and roll around the outside edge so you can come to here. If you wanted to, you could reverse the position. Come up to your foot here, come back around, reverse this position, come around here. And stand back up. Spiral back into place. So you want to spiral down, spiral up. So look like this. 1, 2, 3. Back up. Practice. There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, I'm actually doing that way.
Don't go directly to your seat. So everyone's going to want to go directly to the sitting position. Don't do this. There are several transition points. The first one is here. Now what's important is watch my feet turn. Those of you with rubber soles or barefoot on this material out here, do this. Turn your foot out. Put it down. Turn your foot out. Put it down. The back leg, come up on the balls of your feet and rotate it out. And here. From this position, push back so that you're on the heel of the back foot. Now, lay this shin down so that your weight is on the ball of your foot underneath your butt. From here, gradually sink back so that you can come right back up to this position. You need to be able to find this. The way to think about it is to roll around the outside of your thigh. So you can use your hand, roll around the outside of your thigh. You see how I'm making a circular motion here? And then reverse, come back up here. This is sort of strengthen your ankles, sort of strengthen your knees. Westerners especially, we need to be working on our ability to squat because we don't. Japanese, that's what they do all day long. They sit and stay so they sit on the ground. We sit in chairs, so we don't have the ability like they have. But it's part of the taijutsu. Now, from the squatting, the spiraling down, you you're going to take the king. You can do it at any one of the transition points. So if I'm here, I take a king from here. But now I'm going to go down to the same side. Take a king from here. Or I can unsub and around, take a king from here. And I should be able to roll in any direction. This is called shibudori in Japanese. So from here, I can go around. Of course, I can do a back roll. From here, I can do a side roll in either direction. Or I can pull this foot in and do a front roll. So let's try that. Spiral down and roll in all four directions. If you want to go on the mats and do this, be my guest. Just don't do it with the rubber sole shoes. Okay, enough of that. Did we feel sufficiently challenged by that? Let's do one more solo beginning. And we'll do this from Seiza, or you don't want to do it on the mats. Doesn't matter what you get. The key point of this is where you have your body weight. Everybody knows how to do a front roll. Everybody knows how to do a back roll and side roll to some degree. What we're going to do now is halfway complete a front roll and turn it into a half of the back roll. So we're going to start, let's come through here.
Like we're going to do a front roll, we'll get to here, and instead we'll put this arm behind us and shift.
To the back roll. It's really a shoulder roll from shoulder to shoulder. What I want you to think about is keeping your butt over your head as you come through here.
Keep your butt over your head. You see my feet can touch the floor behind my head. Can you guys see this? That's the crucial
Capability to do this roll. Give that a shot. So, for those of you that have already given this somewhere else, let's make it just a bit more difficult for you. So, at the beginning, you use the length of your arms. So then you're coming through here.
here. You use your arms like this. See how I'm pushing? Right here. Don't to roll forward. Then come around.
Okay, using your arms. You can do that. Use your elbows. So now we're coming in here.
And we're using our elbows. See the elbows?
If you can do elbows, then you use shoulders. So as you're coming through here,
Use your shoulders.
whatever level you can do. So try that. see how you walk your feet around in a circle like this, or a semicircle? This is the exercise. So if you're having trouble getting this, do this exercise. Cool. Let's move on. Now we're going to move into some partner beginning. For this, we're going to do. We're going to just do a little bit of it's kind of fun. We're going to work on controlling our uke with our body and how to knife in this. So he's going to hold the knife in his hand. We're going to grab the wrist. So we're connected. You must maintain this connection. You cannot use this hand. He's going to cut either at my stomach or above, whichever you want. And now I want to move into a place where I can control the knife, but I cannot use this hand. Remember I said, you cannot use this hand if you're going to want to. From here, I want to figure out how to break his structure so that he comes out. So maybe I come in like this. And then I'm going to go and take Ukemi this way. And I want to make sure you can never cut me. So here, I'm going to roll like this. Understand? So that I don't use this hand to control the knife. So we end up here. Does everybody have an idea what we want to do? I'll do that one so you can see. Here. Maybe I want to go forward across it this time. And as I go to roll here, I want to make sure that that doesn't come free to cut me. See how I'm just using my body weight to smash in here? And then slip it out like this. Okay? This is fine. So let's give this a shot. Notice I'm just moving in this place. Do you feel like I'm muscling here? So from here, I need to figure out how is he going to want to fall. If I try and do this, he's just going to be in one place, right? So I just want to move in and feel it. He's okay there. But now he wants to fall this way. Right? And then, understand? You see how we grab our legs in this place, control that knife? Then maybe I'll come across the body like this, smashing this knee right here. And I've got his arm bar with my arm here, right? Did you feel me pushing out any place there? No, I just want him to fall. I don't want to move him now. I want him to fall. I'm just tapping the arm, but my goal is not knife defense at this point. My goal is just to feel where his body is strong. And here I just come like this, instead of set, so that I'm going to take it off. You see, I can set his weight on my knees. You guys see that? Then I move my knees to the toe. Right as I fall, I got to make sure he doesn't whip this out. So I'm just going to go with it. I'm close to the knife so I can control the knife. Ooh. Can you cut me to that from there? Alright, so give that a shot. Get in the leg, Monty, for support, to pull the support out. Try it. When he cuts, I move my leg against his leg here. Now when I move my leg, watch his hips and knees. You see where it goes? Because I push it, he gets strong and fights me. Which is what's going to happen in a fight. They're going to fight you. They're not going to fall you. They're going to fight you. So I push, he naturally wants to push back. You see that? And I let it go. And when I let it go, he falls down. Does this make sense? This is what we're going to be doing throughout the rest of this class, is using our opponent's fight, using their resistance against us. Does it make sense, everybody? Good. So now we're going to move on. I just wanted you to see that. Now we're going to do the impact beginning. In an impact beginning, we practice like punching, slapping, kicking, and pushing, pulling each other. And wherever the energy comes in, wherever the resistance or the power comes in, we want to let that go. What we're going to work on right now is some joint block escape. It's not necessarily an escape like you think of. It's designed to let the energy come out. So he's got this one to get out here. Is that a good one? Okay. If I try to fight him, he's lifting my arm. So what we're going to do right here is we need to use our shoulder mobility. You see how I move his whole body? So I push him here. He naturally sets up resistance against that, but now I'm going to push out through my hand over here and let's see this way. You see how I wind him up, even though he's holding me, I wind him up. Remember we did this stuff at the beginning, we were doing this mobility, and we did this shoulder thing here, so if we do this side. I need to have the ability to push. You see how I'm moving him? I'm just pushing out my shoulder. Push this way and push this way. And you see how it comes free now when I'm safe. Okay, work on it. See my form does really good. Here, and then I go. Push out the elbow, this way, good. Push out of the feet. Push back, yes. And then it takes the stretch out. Push this way. Bring your body. Leave this form in place. Bring your body like that. With my shoulder mobility. Push out of that. You see how you're weak? Why you're weak? You see how it's tight in here? Can you pull it up? Okay. This is nice and snug in. Okay. If I do this, even if I'm muscling it, you see all that space and moving around in? Take the space away. You have to get your body. That's my body weight when I just bend my knees and grip this out of the shoulder. Okay? This is how you put it on. So then I'm going to bend. Okay. Now I've got it nice and tight. So here, I'm going to push through the bone of my upper arm directly into it. See how I'm moving it with my shoulder? Then, see my fingers pointing? I'm going to move it this way. Now, how much is my arm moving? 6 inches? Maybe. 4 to 6 inches maybe. So here. But my body then moves around like this. So now he's holding a handful of nothing. He's got my arm. I've got his body. Okay? So let's try this again. It's, just so you can see, it's push through the upper arm bone, then push through the lower arm bone. Can everybody see that? You will only have to push the lower arm bone a little bit. Then you've got to move your body in a straight line. Everybody understand? Try that. Change partners. Okay, so how are we doing with this? So, there's a couple of interesting points that come out of this. One of them is, in order to do taijutsu really, and especially this incomplete, being able to take the level of your taijutsu up, you have to become comfortable being on the razor's edge of life or death. The term for this is kami shoei in Japanese, which means the thickness of what you paper. You have to be in that position. So when we're letting this lock be put on, and you saw you guys, I taught you how to put it on even tighter. You have to become comfortable there, because in the moment where the person thinks that they have you, is where you make your escape. This is where we do the turnaround, okay? And move on now, we're going to do a little bit of Kion Hampo. So we completed the June Tyson, we completed solo Kenny, we did some partner Kenny, we did some impact Kenny. And now we're going to work on distancing from the Sansheen. So everybody has seen Sansheen before, right? And almost everyone does Sansheen when something looks a little bit like this. Right? It's nice, long, big movements. And that's important because that's part of our art. But you'll never ever get to do a Hatsumi Sensei doing if you only stick with that type of movement. So I'm going to show you some of the Chuto Hapa, the incomplete Sansheen. So what we're going to do now, and you guys can stand up, is we're going to start with our feet, our heels about 2 fist lengths apart, so they're pretty close to each other. Toes pointing outward, maybe 45 degrees, maybe a little bit less. And we're going to bend our knees. Remember we talked about, we're going to bend our knees. Then we're going to take, in this case, we'll take our right leg, and we're going to move it back. We're going to move our head, shoulders, our hips, and our foot back together. So when you come back, your butt should actually be over your heel. I don't want to stick my foot out behind me and go back like this. See the locked knees? I'm bending my knees and let my body weight drop back. If I do my left leg, it's just here. As you do, let the opposite arm come forward. You feel it's kind of a natural counter weight. Attempt to, as much as possible, bend your knees. Keep your butt over your heel and bend your knees. So, here. I don't need to chamber my arm right behind my shoulder. I'm just going to straighten my arm here, and I'm going to do the Chinowaza, so we have this lower block, and then just come forward here. Don't let your hips rotate. Don't turn your hips sideways. If I'm standing here, and I'm facing you, and I'm fighting them, and I move my hips like this, my power is now aimed over that way. I'm deep along this line. So I want to keep my hips in this line. So when I do the Sansheen, I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to step forward instead of grow. Notice I'm keeping my heels shoulder width and narrow. So let's practice this halfway Sansheen. Keep your heels shoulder width or narrower, and you can bend, you can squat as low as you want to. Let's try this. Now, you didn't hit him. What do I have to do? Do I have to step? Now, if I'm going to fight, am I going to punch him like this? I'm sure. It looks great, doesn't it? Or does it look hard? I'm thinking along the lines of hard. Because I don't need to step up. If I can grab him with one hand, unless I'm built like some freak alien, I can probably hit him with my other hand. Right? It's quite simple. I'm already in the right distance. I don't need to step in. And yet, we do this time and time and time again. There's nothing wrong with learning how to do this. When it's the only thing that becomes a problem. Does everybody understand where we're at? This is going to lead us into this. So go back to practicing this. Here. Here. When you go back, don't go back so far that you can see the top of your foot. Only go back far enough that you can see your toenails. Why would I do that? You know, I'm balanced. What's the other thing? If he's going to attack me, and he throws one punch, what's he going to do now? What's he going to do now? He's throwing something else, either a punch or a kick. So, if I just keep going back, at some point he's going to let me open. I need to go forward again at some point. So when he punches, move. You guys recognize Uchimachi no Kata? But not this Uchimachi no Kata. Okay? That will work against the man, but it won't work against the 500 being. Throw 2 punches. Do you understand? Here, my knee is still forward. My body weight is still in the game. If I need to move back 3 or 4 times, I can still do that. So see how my knee's still forward? I'm not doing this. Okay? Practice this to see what happens. You want to do this. You see, I'm actually letting her touch me. I'm letting that punch hit. Let it hit. Try to hit on your chin. You don't want to like poke your eye out or something, right? But let it hit. And you see how it's caused her to actually completely unwind her body there? So she's completely sideways. So at this moment, I can just go, she falls down. So I want to pull them out of their command. If you're wondering why, in the Bujinkan, many people do this. It's because they tried to do this. Mahatsumi Sensei drew them out a little bit more than what they anticipated. And so instead of going here, they were like, and they ended in this retired position. That does not mean that you try to emulate punching and in and out of the retired position. Everybody with me? You want to punch in and out if you can. And your ruke should draw you out that little bit more that takes you out. That's the point of this. Alright, now we're going to add in a second piece. So let me borrow. So he's going to punch here. Here, you see how quickly I'm inside the space? Throw 2 punches. You see how he can't get past the shield? So, slow motion. Watch what's happening, really slow. Boom. You see when that hand comes out? I don't step first. Throw 2 punches slowly. Not sorry. Throw 2 punches slowly. Now you can punch me. He's being nice. He's a nice, well-trained, human guy in the face. If I were outside, I'd punch him in the face. And you can punch me in the face, right? So now, but go slow. I'm gonna let you punch me in the face here. You understand? If I just try to step forward and my hands at my waist here in this really cool looking picture perfect Bujinkan Chimai, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So instead, I'm going to move my hand first. So here, move. Now, what's interesting, I don't even step there, and I can do the show. If for some reason he's blocking my show, and this is painting, and I'm here, I'm just going to go boop, and then with the temple, because this is the ultimate position. If here, or here, you can't block all of it. Let's say he's totally blocking off here, so I come around this way. Understand? So my distance is right there, all 4 squares. Try it. Everybody know the Omote Gyaku? So here's Omote Gyaku. Now what we're going to do tonight, we're going to use just one hand. In this case, we're going to use left or right if we want. Left. He's going to grab me with the right hand. I'm going to use the left hand. So your right hand, tucking your belt. You don't have a weight on it. Just left. So if I'm here, I want to take Omote Gyaku. I have to remember he's got 2 hands. So if I go here, what's he going to do next? Boom, he's going to knock me out. So as soon as he grabs here, I need to make sure he can't knock me out. You see what I did? It's really high level stuff. Got that much in. I'm blocking off this shoulder from punching. But you ask, how am I going to take him with the gap here? Like this. Step behind. You see? Take it with the body. Big grab here. Here. Understand? I don't need to do all that. I mean, because I'm not like help. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Stand. I'm trying to show that. Here. Cover this so he doesn't pop you in the face with the hand. And step it on behind. You see how I'm using my body to break the structure down? then he just collapses down. And when he falls, from the moment that his body hits the ground, see how you open up his hand for a little bit of yaku? Now, I can take a little bit of yaku. Okay? So let's try this. Try to get right in behind it. Free. Just lean down. So here, see how I'm trapped with his feet? Got this on here. Let's put it on my knee and almost big yaku. Try that. Come here. From here. How am I going to take Urigaki from here? You see what hand is, right? Does anybody have an idea? Well, there's several easy ways, depending on how he grabs me. The way he's got me right now is nice and high. I'm just going to bump him with my knee. See that bump? Right when I do that bump, I'm going to turn. See how it fits inside this space? See the Urigaki right here? See Urigaki? From here, boom, boom, turn. You see how I put my legs in the way so you can't just walk out of it. If I don't do that, you will just walk out of it. From here, boom, I'm stepping on his toe, just lightly, bump him, turn. Right? You guys can see it. Cover. Here. From. See how I'm using my elbow and everything? Just turn your hip. And right here, you want to break this and just come down like this. Right? Give that a shot. Take part. It's nice to meet you. Something that Hatsuri Sensei talks about a lot, but the four main Shihan talk about all the time. When everybody sees the technique, you kind of see the beginning a little bit, and you see the end. And so what you end up doing is trying to get to the end. So it's like, whatever the beginning is, to the end. When really, there's a a whole series of small little steps going on that you must do along the way. There's a little manipulation, a little positioning that you must take. So when he grabs me here, it's one. One is covering this so it doesn't punch. Look, you see my body here. If I try to go directly from start to finish, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'm going to go one and block this off. Then two is shifting around behind so he's broken like this. You see I'm still over him here. I'm still controlling his space. Three is bump and create a hole for me to step through here. See this hole? Four is during this next ball. So there's all these steps. You can't go 1/4. We got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So let's try this again, step by step.
Take a look at this.
It's create space. So I'm here. Boom. Boom. You see what I've done with his knees? You see my knees. Okay? This one right here. See it smack it forward? So as I smack it forward, and I'm leaning forward like this, you can't see that I go. You see that knee switch? Knee switch, hip switch. We're adaptive. No game. Does it make sense? This is so important. These knees. Okay? Being able to get in there. You're not beginning to understand why we're having this. Why we're doing this and this. To get these knees in here. Because he can't see. He sees it going up on the upper body. He doesn't see the lower body. And if I do too, he's going to play. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do Bushidori. Let's see, Dan Levi. So he grabs, I've only got one hand. So, I've got to do Bushidori then, right? So how am I going to get Bushidori from here? See my head? I'm using it to control on here. And again, I step right here. Right? It doesn't matter if Dan is strong and he's like, doesn't want his other group. He can be strong. Don't fall down. Okay? Don't fall down. Alright? He's all strong. He's resisting all the time. I didn't do anything that requires him to not resist. And as he falls, you see he falls and hurts his shoulder. And what would that feel like? What did you try to do?
I tried to recover as the arm was coming across. I was trying to recover my balance and then try and get in the career. I got trapped. My balance was taken and as I was coming this way, I was just going around. I holding on to the rock because that's everything I had.
You hold on to me, and that's what provided this Bushidori. So one more time, slow, you see when he grabs, I just come in here. So it's his own hand power. When I turn like this, you see how he broke his own body? What am I doing when I have a muscle? You guys can see, I'm just hanging out here. Like, who's this guy? And then I just shift his foot out again. Instead of knocking his hip out, what's he done here? Okay? He's holding on to keep him falling. So what am I going to do? Hold on? Okay. Nice. How do I take push the door now? No, it's the same thing. But watch this, it's kind of funny. Right, you see that? Let me grab, and just want to make sure you get it. How much power does that hold? Because he feels this when I'm here. Ooh. See, he's got his body weight so that this wants to come here. Everybody catches that, right? So I stop this with this energy here. Then I let this off for a moment. Boom. And you see how he rolls? Again, this hip picks him up. Now if I want to take, hold on, let's go ahead and take it. But I don't really need to. This is the point of how you move in space. Ooh. Feel that? So it's already taken there. You see how it's wide open and broken down? This is important. If I'm here, that hip can move. You see that? So as soon as I do that, now I can't pull that hip through. So I just going to do this. Right? Remember the most important move in the movement now? Okay, let's try this. Here's the other side. So he's straddled. So if you straddle this line, so you can understand. What I essentially want to do is break a structure. Structure consists of head, shoulders, hips, knees, and feet. Well, his feet are planted on the earth, so I'm probably not going to be able to move that in space. But if I can do this, you see how I'm taking the structure offline? If I can do this, I'm taking the structure offline. If I can do this. So what I essentially want to do is break all of those. The easiest way to do that is a spiraling motion. Spiraling. So I want to take, for instance, this shoulder, and I want to compress it onto the opposite side foot. So it'll look like this. You see how it collapses in a puddle right here? So, see my cut? Everybody knows Omote Gyaku, right? Does everybody know Omote Gyaku? Omote Gyaku? This thing right here? There's 3 axes. 1, forward and back. 2, steering wheel. 3, twisty. That's not really their name, that's the name I got. If you do all 3 together, you get 3 axes. That's 3-dimensionally creating an arc that will spiral down through the ribs. Guess what? With the torso, it's the same thing. Forward and back. Steering wheel. Twisty. If you do all 3 together, you get this. It's a spiral compression. We want to spirally compress them into one place. Quite often you see people that want to do this. They want to go, yeah, and whip all over the place. No go. Compress them. So when I do this, I'm going to do this. You see how I compress it into one spot? I want to drill him. I want to screw him down into one spot. Make sense? So as we're doing this, we grab, and here, boom. You see that? You crush it up in one spot. It doesn't take any power. I'm bumping all these pieces of structure, shoulders, hips, knees, out of alignment. Okay? So now let's move on to Ganseki Nage. So if you grab, and from here again, and I see my arm underneath, this is really kind of easy. Turn the back of your hand toward your face. Don't do this. You're going to get gapped. And just lift and step. Looks a lot like you're a gap here. Alright? Now you go. Control. So grab, step here, left here, and over here. You want to throw, drop your hip, come up like this. How's that feel? So, here, 1, 2. Bump the hip, switch. Okay? And 3. This. Try that. Step this way. Now, I'm going to switch it now. You see how I just put this leg right in? And hit it. And follow it. So grab. In this moment, see how I'm protecting, even though I only got one hand? Then I just come out like this. Well, say, this is how I'm sitting like it. Back. You're going to sit like this way. Right? Go this way. This is going to do it this way. Touch that. And just think about this. You throw it out and hold it, everything. Yin and yang. See that? I'm going to grab. This time I'm going to change them out like this. You guys recognize that introduction here? How's that feel? Yeah, right? So if I want to break this, let's go. Okay? So you can see this one more time. Block. My hand comes down. Head comes down, so the hand up in the face. And then just turn. Wind it in. Right? So try this, okay? Like a water pump, except it'll break. Do that shot. Make sure that you get first, that you get the first like this water pump. Get your you do the technique. Very important. Step number one. Step number one. Nice. Do you understand why this is so important? So you can survive to go to step number two. But also, this is the perfect distance that it needs to be. It's the perfect placement. I can't get out of it. He's taken everything I have for this moment. The next thing I'm trying to do is going to be something stupid. And I'm doing number two. Right? If I try to get away, I've just done this to me. And see how he keeps stepping into me? It's quite good. He's actually doing it right now. Okay? That's it. Good. This is really good. You were having trouble over there a second ago. From the very first piece, and everyone here is doing it to some degree or another. As it grabs, if I come in too close here, it'll punch me in the head with the hand. If I go too far, it'll punch me in the face with the stomach with that hand. I need to go perfectly right here. I need to practice getting this every single time. So that he can't generate anything here. Then it's and then when I'm here, snug your neck in the crook of his elbow. Feel that? That's shitty, right? It doesn't have to be crank arm hard. You need to snug your neck up into the elbow. And that provides the structure across your shoulders and back that lets him not be able to escape. Okay? So try this one time. I'm going to do a few hard things. Now that I'm here, it's like, uh-oh, he's got a friend who's going to punch me in the head. So when he goes to punch me in the head here, it's going to roll. I want them to come together. So, you're going to go left punch? So everybody, I want you to do the same technique so you can do it the same way. So you punch him in the left and the right. Okay? So you grab, you come here, go to punch, boom! You see the kind of this? So you let him have that. Now, immediately I got to know what's coming next. Does anybody know? Get the right punch. Not the right punch. Now you see how they're stuck together? I want to take a look at the gap. I want to get right on. So how do I do it? Legs. You got it there? his head out of the way, but really let him try and beat that punch, right? Punch is two different things. Same thing, that's two. Okay, just hold on to me here. Now they're trapped. So there you are. All that. Try that. The important thing is attach them together. So now I'm just going to coming here, and you get now I'm coming out like this. You see how I'm taking this space here? So I'm going to scoop, dance into it. You see how this works? It's a bit weird, right? And you can't get the punch, but you know it works. So he's here, I've got his hands. When that punch comes, I know it's coming, so it's just boom. And you see how it comes right onto there. Then I'm going to bump Dan's hips with my hips. Let's go boom into it. And you see how he makes them fall together? Let's try that. This doesn't have to be work perfect. It probably won't work perfect. When you do this, you grab, boom, it's here. You get punch, boom, you let go. Or you do the same thing. Here, catch. See how it just catches up and gets his head out here? Well, they're much closer there. This is easy. But you got to get it stuck. You got to take the structure out of alignment and attach it. Because then they start making you go to that stuff. Okay? Try that out. Change the partner. Understand? Now, what I'm not doing is this. Punch. You can't make the punch. You guys okay? You see the distance? You okay? So, you got to control the distance. This is an important lesson. Slowly punch here. Slowly. You guys see the concussion, right? So one more time for that. See how I put Dan away from you guys? You see, I'm very comfortable being right under this. In fact, I want you guys to practice this. Grab. You guys touch it, and then you do it. Okay, try it. He's so close that that's punch. Here, I do this, I just do bam! Yeah, he's got two hands. See how the strap in is? Punch, he's holding together. But except he can't get away because I'm wedging his arm against him. So it's poof. Then we're gonna go. Right? So this is where you leave it 3. Because maybe you get I take this here, and then maybe someone else, right? Or maybe you come to class. You see the distancing? Why you have to be right at that razor's edge so that he doesn't get you. He would have punched over them if I wasn't like this. Right? If I was like this, come on, Dad, he wouldn't have done it. It's too far away. And then when you punch, what happens? Where'd your hand go? His hand actually ended up sticking on my shoulder. So he punched like this, and hit me. So I held it for a second, so he pushed harder, and let it go. And that's when it over. So you need to get this distance. So let's do it with groups of 4 now. Groups of 4. Try that. Are there any questions? How many ones that we answered? Anybody got any observations that they've learned? Any points that came clear to them? Yes.
You always seem to scramble, with one behind the knees and contact point, or on the other side. What I've been having difficulty or not is getting the space to get the other way through when you're stepping through. Which obviously keep the process.
Yes. And it's because what I'm trying to do is show you how to use the leg in this. This is like a leg-centered thing that we're doing. Other stuff, I would point out different issues, I would one hand. You've only got one hand. Your hand outstretched from your arm like this is very, very weak. So you gotta get your whole body inside. So I'm either strapping the leg or it's gonna be jamming on me, right? So you have to like move your legs around the body, close against them. Anybody else? Can you keep
Well, it's not spinning the joints, aren't you, rather than stopping the movement rather than taking them out. When you're going round, you're stopping them with no limbs, hips, no knees.
Yeah, I'm preventing them from walking out, right? This is crucial because so much in the losing time, people they're stopping, like not punches, they're doing this. But he's not stopping here, not in real life. I've done nothing whatsoever to stop this. But if I go like this, see, for that moment he stopped. If I then go here, you see he's free to walk and do whatever he wants, he's free. But if I pin it here, and then I change it here, you see he never gets to go free. So now when I cross his body. Understand? You see, I just keep pinning him down. But actually he's pinned himself. I'm just not letting him out. I'm not letting him walk out of it. I'm not letting him escape. How much pressure am I putting on him? Still. Okay, so stand up. See, it doesn't take much pressure when he's in a normal position like this. I didn't push hard, I pushed back. Right? Stand up. Right? I don't have to do much, it's finger pressure. But I've got him in a normal position, it's easy to hold him there. So your observation is good. Anybody else?
I think the key point for me is you're doing, you're not taking a step back from it, you're just sort of sitting into it in the distance.
Say that loudly, please.
You're not taking a step back from the punch or the attack. You're just sort of
Can everybody hear that?
getting distance.
Mushidori. Everybody knows this is Mushidori. Right? What happens in real life when I do this? Yeah, he's just perfectly good. If he's a well-trained Bujinkan nutty, he'll do this. You see? Look, I pulled his elbow out. That's until it can happen. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go pick him out, right? But that's never going to happen. Something to understand, because this is all about distance. Today we talked about Chuta and cutting the distance in half. I want you to visualize this for a moment. Samurai armor. Has everybody seen the samurai armor? The big helmets, the big shoulder pads? Picture Matt wearing a big samurai armor. Shoulder pads, his chest plates out to here, there's some things here, he's got swords sticking out right here, the shoulder pads are here. Me too. Now when he grabs my armor plate here, and I go, this is about as close as I can get to him, because we've got armor on. Does this make sense? Now if he's got armor on, and I go, boom, his armor drags him down this way. Can you understand that? And because these pieces are jammed up in the shoulder plate here, if I roll the shoulder plates like this, you see what ends up happening to him? He's wearing armor. And then when I kick that knee out, the armor drags him down here. Can you understand the distance? We're wearing armor, but we're not wearing armor. So I have to do the distance for not wearing armor. So I just do this. You see anything? You see the difference? It's much closer distance because I don't have armor on. I don't have things in the way. I don't have swords in the way. I can get close, and I must. So that point you made about that big step, it's not that the big step is wrong. The big step is meant for different distances, different situations. You have to adjust your taijutsu to the situation. Anybody else?
You said at the beginning about doing much resistance and after it and doing the limitation.
Right.
I see a similar kind of thing when the punches are coming in. You kind of just riding on them, you're not. And also when you are moving through somebody, you just don't create any resistance, you don't use any force, it's just completely kind of, there's nothing to resist against.
Right.
Effectively.
Right. So that first thing at the very beginning, those warm-ups are actual training. They are training. If you do nothing else, but you did the Junan Taisho, your taijutsu will improve. Because it's training your nervous system to recognize what he just talked about, which is the resistance, the tension. Because in a fight, there is tension. That's the whole point of being in a fight. If there is no tension, there's no fight. So we want to learn to recognize that tension and let it dissipate.
I think it's like something like Kukan when you move into somebody's space. So it's as they're trying to punch you, you're moving into space they want to be. You've already got the balance. Because the two things can't exist in the same place at the same time. I think what was tricky in my mind just then is that's incomplete taijutsu because they've not finished their punch. So a lot of the time I think we're going to incomplete, say, if I'm Toro, what about Uke is incomplete taijutsu?
Excellent. Remember what I said, the yin and the yang, the word of homework. Look at that from the other perspective. We've much used everything, and that's an awesome point. I haven't been thought of that way, but that's exactly right. I have thought of it. Two aligned bodies cannot occupy the same space at the same time. And we're doing this, so we're taking the space they want to be in. Everywhere we took the space they want to be in. Super good point, right?
When you close up body small, you can make a big difference to that structure. If you're only moving your shoulders, big shoulders, it makes a big difference to them.
That's right. When you're close, small movement makes a big difference. Far away, it doesn't make a difference. If they don't check that. Being close, short movement like this, tilts them out of alignment.
Not doing anything drastic, just moulding yourself to the shape of that body.
But Sensei says, Tatakawanai, which means don't fight, don't let it become a fight. Aitei Shinai, don't make someone your opponent, your enemy. So in this situation, it says it all the time, that it's not a fight, it's not about fighting. Of course, we're practicing fighting stuff, but it's about whatever the situation is becoming not a fight. And you felt, how do I finish all these techniques? Am I breaking you guys? If I put some pain in there, bruising your face, tearing limbs out, how did they all finish?
Sitting on the floor.
Yeah. What did you feel like at the end? What was your feeling at the end of it? Did you feel like continuing the fight? That's the whole point. To get people where they just don't feel, you're just like, either because you think it's not worth it, because it just takes too much effort to win, or you feel like you can't win. Either way, you just don't want to continue. This is what we're after. Let the fight drain out. And I think everybody got a chance to feel a little bit of
They're
that.
not actually fighting, they're not fighting themselves, there's more taking their structure and their fighting down around themselves.
Right? And all of this idea of Chuto Hapa, this incompleteness. Because Hatsumi Sensei, he's an artist. In English, then he's an artist. You know that. It's never perfect. It's always the next thing. So you make something that's really good, but you're like, it's the next one that's going to be really good. And so you want that feeling that it's never ever ending. Like Murray said at the beginning, it's incomplete Kyonapo, it's infinite Kyonapo, it's infinite taijutsu. It's never finished. Oh, the guy fell down, but I'm not finished. I could keep going and doing the next and the next and the next and the next. This is the idea. She can have this back on.